What is up, and welcome to SGPN's The Daily Dog. I'm your host, Britton Hess. I'm here with my favorite Underdog Fantasy Pick'em plays for Thursday, October 10th, 2024. If you're new to Underdog Fantasy, sign up with promo code DailyDog. That's DAILYDOG at UnderdogFantasy.com or on the Underdog Fantasy app. Again, if you've not signed up for Underdog yet, what are you doing right now? There's tons of boosts on there. There's a 31% boost going on right now. For October. It's called a boost, like a ghost or something saying boo. Again, up to $1,000 risk on that. That's the type of bonus you're not getting even at sportsbooks. So hop on Underdog if you're not on there yet and sign up with promo code DailyDog to get that 50% deposit match bonus. Then double down on that bonus by using these promos that Underdog is putting up every single day this football season. Speaking on football season, we've been doing Thursday night football slips. Tuesday, Wednesday, and today, Thursday, we're doing one more. This one is featuring some different players than we've featured in our other slips. I'll still recap those and tell you where the odds are on those ones because there's still some value out there on stuff that we've already put out, at least in my opinion. All right, so today's slip, we're taking Brandon Aiyuk to score a touchdown. He's been a little bit slow to score TDs this year. A lot of other guys have been scoring, but not necessarily him. But Tariq Woolen is injured for the Seahawks secondary, meaning there should be some more space for Aiyuk out there because he was probably going to be facing off against Woolen quite often in this matchup. But no Woolen means no shutdown corner on Brandon Aiyuk. There's some other injuries in the secondary as well for the Seahawks, so I just really like Ayuk's chances to get into the end zone here. I think Purdy's going to throw for 2 touchdown passes in this game. I just think the faith in Jordan Mason is wearing thin at this point, and I think they have enough passing options that they're just like, screw it, we can outscore you through the air. We got Aiyuk, we got Deebo Samuel, we got George Kittle, Juwan Jennings is a good playmaker, et cetera, et cetera. Down the line, they've got guys who can make plays. So again, I think that Aiyuk to score a touchdown is a really good anchor on this pick. Next, I'm going to go with Tyler Lockett, higher than 4 receptions. He's had higher than 4 in 4 out of 5 games so far this year. So I just think Lockett is the safety blanket. He's the go-to guy in big moments that Geno Smith is looking for. I expect this to be a very competitive game, so I think that there's going to be some important third down conversions and whatnot where Geno needs to look for Tyler Lockett, his wide receiver 1. I mean, obviously he's not the true wide receiver 1. It depends on kind of the situation and how they're lining up and what the game state is. But, because DK Metcalf obviously demands quite a bit of attention as well. That being said, Lockett is the safety blanket. Lockett is the leading receiver, at least from a reception standpoint, more so than his teammate there in DK Metcalf. So give me Tyler Lockett to have higher than 4.0 receptions here and be that safety blanket for Geno Smith on 3rd or 4th down and just get some of those easy catches, those short outs and whatnot that he runs so efficiently and get over 4 receptions here. Last one, we're taking Noah Fant lower than 22.5 receiving yards here. Noah Fant has gone over this number a few times already this year. 22.5 is really low. Noah Fant's the type of athlete that can do this in one catch, et cetera, et cetera. You don't really beat this 49ers team by attacking them with your tight ends. Their linebackers are too good. Their safeties are too good. So Noah Fant is kind of a dud, honestly. He's an athletic specimen, but just his production never really reaches what you would expect for a guy that has his physical profile. And again, I just don't think that he has a good matchup with these linebackers. And also, the other tight ends on this roster for the Seahawks have been getting involved in the passing game. Pharaoh Brown and whatnot has been getting catches every week. Less work for Fant means less likelihood he's going to get higher than 22.5 receiving yards. He could catch a 50-yarder and kind of make me look like an idiot, but I think it's more than likely that he's going to catch like one pass for 6 yards in this game. That's what I would expect, at least on this Thursday night football matchup. So these 3 picks together, Brandon Aiyuk higher than half of a touchdown, Tyler Lockett higher than 4 receptions, and Noah Fant lower than 22.5 receiving yards is a 7.38x multiplier. So $10, we get $73.80 back. I definitely recommend taking that one. All right. Let's look at the slip we gave out yesterday. We gave out Geno Smith to have higher than 12.5 rushing yards. So that's up to 15 already. I think it's going to continue to rise. Basically, my ceiling for this is probably about 15, but the real true ceiling where I'm like, just stop looking at it is at 17.5 rushing yards. So if you can get him lower than 17.5 rushing yards, you are doing all right. Then I had Jason Myers 6.5 kicking points yesterday. That one is still the same. And then I had Brock Purdy higher than 253.5 passing yards. It's down to 250.5. 3 yards coming off there doesn't really scare me too much. I think that the 2.5 yard move for Geno Smith is actually much more important than the 3 yards move on Brock Purdy here. This slip is still 6x multiplier. I would still play it right now, but as I said, the Geno Smith rushing yards is getting a little bit scary at this point, but it's not the end of the world just yet. All right. The slip that we gave out on Tuesday was Deebo Samuel to have higher than 0.5 rushing and receiving touchdowns. The idea is that Jordan Mason's fumbled and they don't necessarily rely on him as like they once did. I still think that holds mostly true. I would say give Deebo, that still holds mostly true, at least in my opinion. I would take Deebo to have higher than 0.5 rushing plus receiving touchdowns still. The other one is Kenneth Walker, higher than half of a rushing plus receiving touchdown. I think that one still is also good, considering you get the vulture protection on Underdog, which means you get your slip back if every leg hits outside of your starting running back getting vultured at the goal line. And then the last one, Jackson Smith and Jigba, higher than 49.5 receiving yards. It's at 47.5 now, moved down 2 yards. I don't really care too much about that one. Obviously, I'd prefer to have good CLV instead of bad CLV. But the game plan is still the same. I think JSN is actually going to have potentially the best matchup in this game. So him putting up some yards is definitely in the realm of possibilities. And when I say best in this game, I mean for the Seahawks wide receivers. So this is back to a 6.84x multiplier. Yesterday it was up at 7.25, but that has come down a little bit. I would still play this one as well. I mean, basically, we didn't lose too much value on our early slips this week. We did the biggest thing is the 2.5 yard move on Geno Smith is the one that could come into effect, but watch him have like a first quarter 25 yard run. We're just laughing about that not mattering at all. All right, there's other sports happening right now, so we need to talk about our other sports slip. And I will say, my goodness, we would have had one yesterday. But things did not end up going our way in the Jacksonville State game. Huff, the quarterback, didn't rush for enough yards in that one. The backup quarterback had a 72-yard run in that one. He came in, spelled him, and had a 72-yarder. That was really frustrating because that slip would have come home, no problem. Obviously, Trey, the running back, he had over 100 yards as expected, and we got the Nerfy in the Yankees-Royals game. So stinks that Huff kind of got vultured by his backup QB, but it is what it is. Life goes on. All right, let's go to our other sport slip today, not just Thursday night football. We're taking Aaron Judge lower than 0.5 runs scored. This is a 1.08x multiplier. Why does Judge deserve to be a favorite to score a run? He scored one run in this series so far. He's having trouble getting on base. He's not hitting for power. The home runs are just off the table. I don't know. He seems like he's in his own head right now, and I'm not necessarily expecting him to step up in a major way in this big spot. So give me Aaron Judge lower than 0.5 runs scored in this game against the Royals. Then we're going to go to college football. Alonzo Barnett, quarterback for James Madison, higher than 2.0 passing touchdowns versus Coastal Carolina. Obviously, there is the push potential there. Nobody wants to push on a slip. But the JMU offense is crazy. I mean, Barnett has 2 5-touchdown passing games already this season. He can go over 2 touchdown passes, no problem. Coastal Carolina has allowed 2 or more touchdown passes in 3 straight games. I really do like Barnett and his shots to get this one done and get to 3 or 4 passing touchdowns in this game. Again, Coastal Carolina, I think that their record is a little bit inflated by the teams they've played and not necessarily how good they are. And as I said, allowed 2+ touchdown passes in 3 straight games, and they've not been playing all these really good passing offenses like James Madison employs with Alonzo Barnett. Last one, we're going to Keyshawn Johnson, higher than 0.5 TDs in the Western Kentucky versus UTEP game. Johnson has had 4 touchdowns in the last 3 games. He's had 1+ in each of his last 3 games. He's had 6 receptions in every game outside of the Bama game they played in the opener. He's the dude that Western Kentucky wants to target. They could easily pass for 3 touchdowns in this game. If they do pass for 3 touchdowns in this game, Keyshawn Johnson is getting one of them. UTEP's defense is terrible. UTEP has a lot of heart. They got a lot of will. They got a lot of moxie. There's stuff you can like about this team. But at the end of the day, this team is just bad. The UTEP defense is just bad. The offense is just bad. Western Kentucky can name their score in this one if they want to. So that's all I've got for you today. Let's make some money on Thursday Night Football. Let's make some money on baseball and college football. Let's make some money.